Corazon Puro started out from the heart of Odette and Father Agustino as a way to reach out to the young people here in New York City about chastity.
I think the first step into becoming a missionary disciple in Corazon Puro is to love. I'm going to say love because I feel like we need to learn to accept and give love. You know, you can't give of what you don't have. And that's what we're doing. Through that message, we have to give it with love.
The message of chastity is very important because it allows us to get to know ourselves in relationship with God and who we are and the meaning of our bodies.
Chastity helps in a sense. I mean, chastity is what it does. It helps you to become pure. Helps you to grow as a person. I know for myself when I was coming up, when I was growing up, I was very insecure about myself, about my appearance, and all these things. But when I came to start learning about chastity and start learning the virtue of chastity, it taught me so much about myself, like things about myself that was in me that I was afraid to show people, because I was afraid they were going to judge me or they were going to think I was crazy. It came up more naturally, and I was more confident. And that's what I think that chastity does for a person. It helps you to become more confident, become more willing to help, become more pure.
Chastity is the first step because, first of all, we must make that message. We must learn to live that message in our everyday life. So it takes practice. It's a challenge. That message calls each and every single one of us out of ourselves to really give of ourselves. So it is important to give ourselves some time to receive the message and to practice the message.
Well, I think it's very important, chastity first, because you come to get to master yourself, come to understand who you are, and come to control your desires and your needs. And once you have mastered that, then you are more able to deal with other situations that are bigger, because a lot of people could be great preachers, but if you're not preaching what you actually are preaching, then you're contradicting the word.
Teachings and theology of the body, and once you have all that, that's when they prepare you really good to send you forth to go to mission.
Unless you have the formation and the prayer before going out onto mission, you forget what you're doing it for, and it becomes tiresome. It becomes a burden instead of a joy to serve, right? So if you don't understand that you're doing this not for yourself and not to please other people, but you're doing this for Christ and for a greater purpose, then you get lost and you think, I'm doing this for myself because it feels good to me, because I'm gonna change the world, and that's not what you're doing this for. You're doing this for Christ. So I think that
right. The true meaning of love is a gift of self, right? Being chaste and loving is giving yourself entirely, right? If you cannot do that because you're living a chaste life, then you cannot give any other message. You can't serve the person wholeheartedly because you're going to be thinking of what you're getting from it. You can't feed the hungry without being pure in your intention for them. You're still going to be, you're trying essentially to take something from them because you're trying to fulfill yourself in that.
Well, I think you can go out and help. There are a lot of nonprofit organizations that already do this. They already go out and do amazing things, helping the poor and everything. But I think the difference with chastity is that, in my personal experience, what I received was that I'm loved and that I'm worth something, that I'm worth something more, right? And when I heard that, it completely changed my life, and it made living chastity so much easier, because it didn't matter what other people thought of me. It didn't matter, what I had done in my past. All that mattered was that Christ loved me, and he wanted me to live a chaste life.
When you go out there and you meet and encounter people, you can see them the way that God sees them, because it says in the Beatitudes, blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. So when we're able to practice chastity, and before going on a mission, when we go to the mission and we encounter all kinds of people, we are able, in a way, to love the way that God loves. We are able to see God and see Christ in others, because we have been practicing this within ourselves. And so we no longer see people as an object for our own desires and our own use, or we don't see people as dirty, or we don't see people, as whatever. We see them as beautiful creations of God, and that they are worthy of our respect, and they're worthy of our time and our affections, and they have a dignity.
Being here in Corazon Puro, I've developed such a great love for the poor and for the homeless and for so many people who are suffering. And it's not easy to serve those people, but chastity and knowing that I'm called to give this love of Christ to others just makes it something worth fighting for. Like, my life has purpose.
Yes, we talk definitely about chastity, but also mission. Become a missionary, it's a big thing. It's like the next level. It's like you go out, you go either to Honduras, you go to Nicaragua, you could go to Germany, Italy, wherever God is going to send you. He could send you right here in the Bronx and feed the homeless and take care of the homeless, or be with people who really need the presence of God. But chastity, it gives you that extra power, that extra push, that you could talk to them and motivate them, that they could become pure again. You know, start again from scratch and say, you know what, I could purify my body, I could live this chastity life and continue. And by that, you could motivate others to start changing that way of life that they have.
And I think that's precisely what Corazon Puro tells us, is that, no, like, Christ loves you and Christ wants what is best for you. And I think this is why people call Corazon Puro so much, because Corazon Puro offers a different way, a path of love, a path of security.
Christ really showed me that, like, chastity isn't just about not having sex, right? Chastity is about putting Christ first in everything.
It's great. It's not all about what people think is all about sex. It's not. It's more about sharing true love. True love.